thank goodness this channel's not about beauty, because I look pretty ragged. I've been on a tractor mowing, and Tammy doesn't even want to show her face because she's been working hard moving things too. So let's not judge us, give us a score out of 10. If you do, it'll be a 1. All right, so here we go. Someone says they got their fine care machine last week. They're excited. Great, good. Karen Oliveira. Good. If you have any questions about that, Karen, we're here for you. I see somebody else says thank you for the information on the swimming chest. Dad, can you come pick me up? I'm lost. Yeah, okay. Send us your phone number. We'll come pick you up. Somebody from probably Arabia, because I don't understand, or the Middle East, I don't understand the lettering. I'm looking for buy a French bulldog for between $20,000 and $30,000. Can you help me find one? Well, Cody just had a litter of. See, what were those? Tammy, are they platinums that are also testable chocolate?
Lilac and tans.
Lilac and tans.
Testable
with testable chocolate. So
Carrying
they're
cream.
going to be in that kind of range.
And carrying cream.
Yep, and cane cream. So those would be interesting dogs. So his numbers at the very beginning of this video.
And then we've got a litter coming.
And we've got a litter coming.
In another month.
Yes, and what are they going to be? Bouvier and...
Paris.
Yes. So
it's a chocolate fawn that carries blue, cream, and AT. And of course, Bouvier is our platinum full visual fluffy.
Right, so we're going to have in that, it's going to be lilac
all
and tans.
fluffy carriers.
Platinums, fluffy carriers. You're right. Okay.
Not all
Luann.
platinums, there'll be different colors.
Yeah, some, yeah. Luann Kelly. I talked several times over the phone with my breeder. I followed her for over a year on Facebook before I sent her a deposit. I picked up my puppy up at her ranch near San Antonio. Met my puppy's mom, dad, and grandpa. It was a 9-hour trip each way, but well worth it. I tell people, wouldn't you give that drive if you are getting a new member to your family? Scammers seem to want everything fast, and that's a big red flag. Yes, you're exactly right. So good for you, you did it the right way, and you did 18 hours of driving to get a puppy that you're going to fall in love with, so good job.
It's your baby.
Oh, so funny. I did a series of videos, Tammy wasn't in it because we hadn't done it in a while, and somebody says, Fan Ox says, I want to see Tammy. Okay, well, you know,
not today.
Just
you don't
look over
see
this.
me.
Just look over this place a little bit, Tammy. Just so I can say hi to you. Come on, put a little bit of your face in there.
Hey.
There she is. She looks better than me. Yes, you do.
I smell better than you. I
True.
took a shower.
What colour is a dog considered if its DNA is capital EM? That's one copy of Black Mask. Little d, that would be blue. Big B, little b, that's one copy of testable chocolate. AYAT, which potentially makes sables, and has the cocoa gene. It carries dark brown, which is the cocoa gene, but I thought that the DD would dilute any colour the dog carries. The dog looks completely white, but the DNA says there are many other colours present. Well, okay, so this is interesting. So what have you got going on here? Could be a couple of things. First off, you didn't mention the E gene. Since this dog is big EM, it can't be a cream. So it can't be a cream dog. Could be a pied, could have an extreme pied. You don't mention anything about pied. Extreme pied dogs can look white. And I suspect that's what you've got going on here, because you say the dog looks completely white. Dogs that are fawns don't look white. So I think you have an extreme pied, and I think that's what's going on. And you need to find out about that, because if you're going to breed this dog, you do not want to breed this dog probably to another pied. You probably don't want to risk extreme pieds. They can have hearing issues. Yes. Someone says here, would you have to genetic test the puppy to make sure that it's a carrier of those colour genetics? I'm not sure what you're asking here.
About the DNA, not genetics.
If you don't know what if somebody can't tell you what the colour of a dog is and you want to breed it, or if you've got a puppy that you're going to sell to somebody and don't know, go get a DNA test. That's the short answer.
Do it.
Buckle up and do it.
Anyway,
Yep.
yeah.
Someone says thank you for the pup videos. What is the best brand company for DNA braceleting? What do you think of Embark? So there is about 5 places in the US that will do it. The one that we use is Animal Genetics out of Tallahassee, Florida. I like them. They're all about the same price. I like Animal Genetics because they're quick. You can get results in about a week. Number 2 would be well, these aren't in order of preference. UC Davis and California. They're good. They're a bit quicker than the next one, which would be VetGen's taking an awful long time from what I gather, about a month to get results, or 2 months to get results.
Embark too, isn't it?
I think Embark's pretty quick. Embark's got a really extensive test. That's great. Trouble is, it's hard to interpret it. And for most people, I have to spend quite some time looking at Embark tests to decide exactly what it means. There's Embark and then there's paws and prints. They all do fine. Rico Velez says malnutrition causes pups to get absorbed. Okay, I mean, I don't know that's right, and I honestly, I don't want to nay people, but I suspect that's not the reason for it. And the reason I say that is because anybody who's raising French bulldogs, they've got these dogs on good diets.
I don't know. There was a customer of yours that brought a dog or two that were way skinny, and he wanted them to be bred, and it took them forever to get the numbers down, and they end up, the guys at work fed them big so they would gain some weight.
Well,
they bred the dogs. No, yeah. It was not ours. It was a customer of
they
yours.
brought them to us to be bred.
Yes.
So we filled them full of food.
We tried to fill them full of food because they were so malnourished.
Yes.
That I don't even think they got pregnant.
Well, look. Malnutrition is a cause of problems in humans and other animals. No doubt about it.
Yeah, I know that a woman that's anorexic, it messes their periods up. They just have all kinds of problems. So I'm sure with French bulldogs or any kind of dog, malnutrition would be the same one.
So maybe then.
No, would be.
Okay.
Because those two girls didn't get pregnant.
So someone made a comment on my AIing dogs. Jane Evans says these French bulldogs have been so overbred they have at least been stopped. They should have been left to breed normally. I find this totally unacceptable. Okay, there you go. That's what Jane Evans thinks. Can you do an AI at a level of 21 to 22 nanograms per milliliter? You bet you can. So if you think of it this way, a prime time to do a vaginal AI would be 15. The next day, the number's gonna be about a 25. You're in TCI surgical territory, but you're still okay for a vaginal. You'll probably get away with it. You're probably just 3/4 of a day, maybe 15 hours late. It's not that late. Easton Meyer just got back from the veterinarian's office. The vet ultrasound tech is actually having me come back next Tuesday for another ultrasound because she couldn't either deny or confirm pregnancy. The first AI was April the 11th. The second was April 13th. She said she saw a little fluid in the uterus, but it could be diastrous. I'm devastated. Well, don't be devastated yet. I mean, I recommend 30 days from AI for your first attempt at finding out what's going on. So if that's the case, since the second one was April the 13th, that brings you through to May the 13th, so you're a shade early. But, you know, I have seen lots of times where ultrasounds say one thing and it's completely not right. So, you know, it's hard to interpret these things on early pregnancies. Glorious French, Texas Glorious Frenchies. Love your videos. I have a blue Merle Frenchie that I bred to a new shade. She ended up having just one puppy, and here's the Merle, but does not seem to be between a blue and maybe chocolate. Any predictions what his DNA is? No, none. DNA. Sorry. Chocolates can look like blues, blues can look like chocolates. It's very easy to get confused on this. Anything, I haven't seen the dog, so I'm not even going to make a guess on it.
Some people think you can tell by just a picture. Different time of the day, inside, outside. You can't get the right color on the dog just looking at a picture either.
Brittany, question. My female is due for her third heat cycle this month, and we're breeding her. Any ways to bring on her heat cycle so it's on time? Well, the only thing that I really know of is to house her with another dog that's in heat. Somebody put here, let's see, there's an answer here. Red cell supplement will start her cycle in 7 days or less. No idea what that is, so I'm not going to comment on that. But for me, the natural way to do this is bring her into a dog that's in heat. Bring her next to a dog that's in heat. best weight gainer, 33M photos, best weight gainer supplement for 6-month-old pups. I mean, you know, it's like human beings. I mean, it's all about eating food. You know, like, you know, are you going to eat one thing over another? You know, good quality, high protein food for puppies from a brand that you that is well known, absolutely fine. And I don't think you're going to magically do something much better with one brand over another. We use Life Abundance. We like it.
We sell it on our website.
We do sell on the website. It's a good quality food.
And adult.
And they got, yep, so like Tammy says, they got versions for all different kinds of versions.
I'm trying the turkey and rice and from Life Abundance adult, and my girls are doing really good with that. So
what do you think that new puppy that we got that was so skinny?
Oh my gosh, she's wonderful now.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Life Abundance.
Yeah, yeah. She's Life Abundance puppy.
We got a puppy
fantastic.
that was actually 2 puppies. Cody's got one of them, and a little bit skinny. Well, not a little bit skinny, a lot skinny. But we fattened her.
Diarrhea issues.
Yeah, she got some gut problems too, which we treated for.
We treated it.
Which is probably the majority of it. But now she's just a nice roly-poly fat, lovely little dog.
I call her a little fatty patty.
She's a nice little dog. I like her a lot.
She's a good dog.
Blessed Bullies Kennels. I have bullies. I really want a Frenchie. What's the best French bulldog I should have? Should I buy as far as colour? There's 4 replies. Let's look at the replies first.
She can buy one from us in a month.
33mm photo says get structure first.
Yes.
Colours may be made down the line. That's exactly right. So that is good advice.
Structure. And the cherry on top is the DNA.
And then somebody, Giovanni Almanes, says 3M Photos says that from experience. That's why you're asking a suggestion about weight gain of your dog, okay? My question is to end a long overdue debate, and you obviously have lanky dogs. If you know structure and pedigree comes before anything, especially color. I'm not sure what that comment's not to us, it's to somebody else. I'm not sure. Somebody else said I'd say a blue and tan female would be a good starting point. All right, so I've got a video on this. Tammy hates it when I talk about this, but you've got to set a budget.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if you can afford the more expensive, go for it. But, you know, like if you picked up a blue and tan, make sure it carries cocoa and cream and ATA or ATAT, or a lilac and tan carries cream, ATA, ATAT, or if you can afford the fluffy carriers.
Well, I'm going to back this up with some prices. So, look, you know, I had a friend just bought a dog the other day, a stud dog. He paid $200,000 for the dog. It's a full, fluffy, new shade, beautiful dog, and that's why. So that's the one end of the extreme, $200,000. The other end of this is $1,500, right? So obviously, you know, you're not getting the same thing in a $200,000 dog you're getting for $1,500.
That's on the people that have been breeding for quite some time.
So you know, should you go buy a $200,000 dog?
No.
Sure, if you've got $200,000, if you've got $200,000 to go burn, and when I say burn, I mean what we call disposable income. Please do not go get a loan and do not get yourself in a tight buying your first French bulldog, because look, you just don't know how this is going to work out. Probably be fine. Dog could get run over, get stolen, could die, who knows what. And if you spent $200,000 on a dog, that might be a terrible situation. Maybe you've got $10 million in the bank and maybe it's fine. I don't know what your situation is. But the point here is budget. Come up with a budget, because that will give you an idea. The more that you pay, the nicer the dog potentially will be, should be, right? So, just like 33mm photos said, structure. Tammy was saying the same thing too. Get a dog that looks right. Don't get a big dog. Don't get a dog with a long back, long neck, long muzzles, huge ears, long legs, a tail on the back end.
The majority of the time when you're buying a dog that you're wanting structure, make sure you give a good look at the parents, the background history of the parents. Grandparents would be great, because that'll tell you what your puppy dog's going to look like probably when she gets older.
So, structure first, now to your budget. Now the budget's going to determine what the DNA this dog has. So let's just talk about what you can expect. So the first thing is, if you get a dog that carries colours but doesn't show them, it's always a cheaper dog. So if you got a dog, for instance, and by the way, in my book, it would never be a brindle dog. Don't buy a brindle dog. I'm going to get people to call me on this again, but don't get a brindle dog.
Well, if you've got 10 points, yeah, for sure.
Just don't get a brindle dog.
Yeah.
Just don't get a brindle. We don't have any brindle dogs at all. None. We've got lots of dogs. We don't have any brindle
You're
dogs.
gonna hurt somebody's feelings.
I know. It took some time to get there.
They're pretty though.
Yeah. But it's not about. This is about. You're doing this for breeding purposes. Okay. So the first thing is not a brindle dog. So then I'm going to give you some idea on prices. So the least expensive dog that would be in my category of dog to buy would be a fawn dog that carries. I know. Tell me this. That carries other colours. So that way, if you bought a fawn dog that carries blue, cream, and cocoa, that's not going to be a very expensive dog, but it can go on to produce lilacs and platinums and blues and chocolates.
Okay, can I say something right here?
Yes.
We do have a chocolate fawn female, and she's the one that's going to have babies June 8th with Buble. Now, she is a chocolate fawn that carries blue and cream and AT, and she's bred to Buble. So they're going to be fluffy carriers. If you're looking for a cheaper dog, there you go.
We're going to put this on the end of this video because that way people can tune off that want to.
I'm telling
Let me
you
get back to let me get back to this. Yeah. So that would be the lower end of the totem pole. A good, nicely structured dog that's a fawn dog that carries blue, cocoa, cream, maybe 10 points. How much is that dog going to be? $4,000 to $5,000, maybe more. Depends if it's got pedigree and it comes from a very reputable breeder. It could be more, it could be $5,000. But it's in that kind of a price range. So now from there, where do you go? You get a dog that has one of these primary colors, blue or chocolate. So you get a blue dog that carries cocoa or a cocoa dog that carries blue and hopefully cream and 10 points. Now you're in this $5,000 to $6,000 range. And that dog can produce, again, all the colors under the rainbow. Next up after that is to go for a dog that is basically a lilac dog, a dog that is both blue and cocoa, and preferably a lilac dog that carries cream with 10 points. Now you're in this $6,000 to $8,000 range. Platinum dogs, you're in the $8,000 to $14,000 range. You add Merle to it, you add a couple of $1,000. You add Fluffy to it, you add another $5,000 or $6,000 to it. So there you go. That's a kind of a fairly long-winded answer. We've spent 70 minutes of your time. So now Tammy gets to tell you about her puppies. Because there's nothing else after this about the Q&A. It's all about what we've got. Go ahead, Tammy.
So June 8th, Paris is her name. She is going to have babies. She's a chocolate fawn that carries blue, carries cream, carries AT. Buble that she's bred to is an AT-AT, full visual, fluffy, platinum, very small. He's 20 pounds and she's probably like 18.
Small.
And this car was going so slow. Yeah. Anyway, so we're going to get all fluffy carriers. There's your chance to get you a fluffy carrier that will be in lower price range than your color that you see on the outside, like your lilac and tans and all that, because I'm liable to get another fawn out of that group. But there will be platinums.
Why did you get a fawn out of that group?
Because she's a chocolate fawn.
Oh, I see. Okay, fawn, chocolate fawn.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll get platinums, we'll get lilac and tans, we'll get all these colors. We could possibly get a chocolate and tan. So these are all going to be fluffy carriers.
Well, you almost said you will get chocolate.
Yeah. So anyway, this will be an interesting litter to see coming up. So give me a call at 580-799-1910, and we'll have those puppies born June 8th. Keep your fingers crossed.
And while we're talking about that, Cody just had a litter of 10.
Oh yeah.
From Goldfinger, who is our new shade, really small little boy. Really, these puppies are now like 3 days old. They're fighting a little bit because they've got puppies that range now from 6 ounces to 11 ounces. So the 6 ounce puppies are taking some work. But they're doing well with it. And I mean, they're going to be small dogs, and that's one of the...
If you saw my little girl that's from Goldfinger, she's like a little pig. Real stout, thick, little tank. And so we're probably going to end up keeping that little female. And so anyway, that's proof in the pudding there about how beautiful his litter is.
Oh, Goldfinger is really
and they're, what, a week old maybe?
Yes,
right
at the most.
Yeah, at the most, yeah. So be sure and look at his babies, and he's...
well, nothing up on the website yet, so but we'll do a video and put it up on the channel.
Cody's phone number is 806-664-0173 to give him a call about his babies. Remember, he's got 10 of them.
Yep. All right, there we go. 19-20 minutes. That's a long one.
Yeah.
Thanks, folks.
Bye.
Watching the
the video. I really appreciate people who subscribe to me. It helps me, encourage me to do more of these videos. But do remember, disclaimer here, I am not a vet. I'm not a licensed medical professional. I'm purely a person who's been breeding dogs for the last couple of decades. Any information that you got from this video, use at your own risk. There's nothing implied here, and certainly this should not be used as a substitute for advice from your veterinarian or your medical professional. I hope you enjoyed the video. Come back for more of them. Bye.